Okay, so let's talk about the difference between functional components and class-based components. So if we talk about the syntax, then the functional components are basically simple functions which returns the JSX, which is being rendered on the browser, which is painted on the browser. And if we talk about class components, then they are JavaScript classes which extends React.component, and it has a render method which is responsible for painting UI, or which is responsible for returning the JSX from the component. If we talk about functional component, then before the introduction of React hooks, there was no state in functional component, but in class component there was a concept of or there is a concept of state, and which can be updated using useState. Also, in functional component, there were no lifecycle methods like component mount and everything. But in class component, there are some methods like component mount, component update, and other lifecycle methods. But after the introduction of React hooks, functional component can behave or can have this lifecycle methods using some hooks like use effect, and it can also perform some side effects as well. If we talk about performance, then functional component are way better in terms of performance as compared to class component. And if we talk about readability, then functional component are way more readable and less complex as compared to class components. So these are all the difference between functional component and class component. And if we talk about the usage, then as I mentioned earlier, that functional component are simple functions. So you just have to make a function and make some states and return the UI. And if we talk about class components, then you have to make objects for states, and you have to set it. And for props also, you have to make objects and you have to pass it. So yeah, this is all.